I don't think you realize what kind of trouble you were in last night.
What's that like to live deliciously?
Who do you think those people were? If I told you their names, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cinema Cult Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Maloof. With me, as always, my co-host, Dante Troina, and we have a very full podcast today, Dante. Lots to talk about.
A very exciting day, I guess. It gave us a lot of things that we want to sound off on. I think a lot of things that we're pretty passionate about. So this should make for a pretty entertaining episode.
Yeah, right after we were done recording yesterday, you sent me on Instagram that the first images, first cast images, literally right after the first cast images were released for the upcoming Harry Potter series, which is airing this December, the first season, Philosopher's Stone. And then it was accompanied by a full trailer. So immediately as we were done recording the pod yesterday, I went, turned on the TV, watched the trailer, and we have thoughts. So we're going to talk about the Harry Potter trailer, our thoughts on the series in general, coming from two massive Harry Potter fans. I mean, we've been fans of this book series, movie series for like as long as we can remember. Talk a little bit about the December release slate because it's very stacked, and then we're going to go right into our reactions from the 2026 Oscars, which we're finally getting around to. So this will be a full episode. Dante, start us off. First thoughts, initial reactions from the Harry Potter trailer. What do you think?
Well, Philosopher's Stone is cool. I like that they're going with that title. Besides that, I think they Man of Steel-ified this shit. They're going like the Zack Snyder route of like, you know, when you watch the Man of Steel trailer and it's like trying to give you hope, but it actually just beats you into a corner and shows you how depressing everything is. That's how I felt watching this trailer. I didn't get a huge sense of wonder. I didn't get a huge sense of like excitement, or we'll talk about color, and just vibrations from the trailer for the show were not high. Did not get me as a fan more excited for the show.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like an HBO prestige drama. Like it kind of looks like it has like that Euphoria tone over top of it, or it's like just like the color palette, or it does look a bit gray. I mean, the whimsy is gone, right? Like the Chris Columbus movies, the first two, like the Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, there's no like whimsy from that carrying over into this series. I don't necessarily dislike that. I mean, we want this to try to go for something, I think, a bit different. You can't carbon copy. You can't just remake the movies like shot for shot, scene for scene. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely noticed that, but I don't know if I really hate the look of it. I don't know. I'm not sure yet, I guess.
Not just the look, but just I think it was shot very competently. The shots that we did see. Again, this is a 2-minute trailer. This is the first things we are seeing too. Yeah. So we could be proven wrong. There could be, you know, a lot of whim, a lot of excitement going on when we get into the Harry Potter universe. You know, there's part of me that still hopes this show is good, but I think this trailer just proved to me more of like the why are we doing this? Because I just, as a fan, it should make you feel something. I think we can get more in as we get deeper into the trailer about just where it kind of stands, where the Harry Potter movies stand, the uniqueness of this TV show coming out. Because I tried to look through the annals of history, and there's not really anything like this that's been remade after being made so pure and so quickly after.
25 years.
Still, I mean, 25 years, which is still, you know, these are characters that we grew up with.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we're still in our mid 20s, and I don't want to feel old yet. You know, I don't want to feel like they're remaking my favorite things yet, but you know, James Bond has had this different iterations, characters like Batman, Spider-Man. But those are almost expected because they're off of a wider source material. And that's kind of how they've been ingrained in cinema at this point. Harry Potter, stuff like Lord of the Rings, even Game of Thrones have not had like reboots yet because they haven't needed them. And so this is just kind of a surprising choice all in all. And more about the trailer, I guess, get into what kind of took you by surprise up front from the trailer.
I mean, what took me by surprise was the casting is what stands out to me just in general. The casting was the main strength, I think, of the original film series.
Yes.
I mean, absolutely nailed every single character to a T. Some of them they even got right multiple times, like Dumbledore, you know, Michael Gambon Dumbledore, very different from Richard Harris Dumbledore from the first two films. Richard Harris Dumbledore, I'd say, is much more accurate to the book than the Michael Gambon version, but still feels very, very just right in that
Still
world.
great.
Like, still just fits it like a glove. The casting to me looked fairly solid in this new show. I mean, I think the
Right.
kids look good,
Right.
and I don't really want to get bogged down on the kids because I think they look the part, right? And we'll see as we
They're
get into the
kids,
show
yeah.
and their performances, and you really can't criticize them much because they're kids, right? They're doing their best, but we can criticize the adult actors, right? Very fairly. The first thing I wanted to bring up was Nick Frost as Hagrid. I think he looks the part. I don't really know if he sounds the part. And again, the
Right.
show is just at such a disadvantage because everything's going to be compared to what's been previously done.
Right.
And if Nick Frost doesn't sound like Robbie Coltrane Hagrid, people are going to be upset. And he doesn't. He just sounds like Nick Frost.
Yeah, that's the voice in your head. That is Hagrid. Yep.
It doesn't sound different or unique, and maybe we'll get used to it. And it's obviously a different take on the character. So it's hard to say at this point how all this is going to shake out. But it's just it doesn't fill me with joy at this current moment.
Well, and even seeing the parents, Cody, like Richard Griffiths as Vernon Dursley and Fiona Shaw as Petunia Dursley, like they just nail those roles for their 10-ish minutes of screen time in each of the first couple movies. You know, Julie Walters as Molly Weasley just doesn't look right with those not being the Dursleys
It
and
just
not
feels
being
weird.
Ron's parent who hugs him. It just still feels off. And, you know, maybe that's our problem that we can't get over it. But these are also the characters we grew up with. You know, David Bradley as Argus Filch. I'm going like way down into the cast list.
But that's
Maggie Smith as
all those
Minerva
characters
McGonagall. Like
are
nailed it.
indelible. You can't get them out of your head. I think the main thing I really want to say about why this feels like maybe it isn't going to work or why it isn't working for us is because it doesn't feel like the last version of this universe is gone. I mean, those movies feel very much alive still. I mean, people watch those.
They play on our living room screens every year.
Exactly. People watch them year after year, and they do marathons of these movies, and the theme parks have all been built around the aesthetics of those films. So it really doesn't feel like that world is gone. And so it's really hard to step into a new iteration of it, even though it's very much trying to evoke those films, also kind of trying to do something different, but not truly different. Except I think in one particular case, which I think we have to talk about here, which is the casting of Severus Snape.
Get right into it.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just tough. And look, I'm not opposed to race swapping characters in general, but it has to be done with a purpose. And this just feels like it wasn't done with a real purpose in mind. It just feels like we had to get more diversity into the cast, and we're going to change one of the characters from a white guy to a black guy. It just doesn't really fit here. I mean, I just really don't think it works. On a number of reasons. I mean, people have been saying a lot online about how are we going to deal with the fact that Harry doesn't trust the one black teacher in the school, or Neville's greatest fear is the one black teacher, or James is bullying the one black kid at Hogwarts.
Essential things to the story and characters.
It's just really weird casting. It's just a weird choice that's made here. I don't know if I can really get behind it for those reasons.
If you race swap another professor like McGonagall, like Professor Flitwick, I know they're not as integral to the story as Severus Snape is. I get that. But I don't think we're caught up on it. I think it's that Snape is the heart of Harry Potter, and a lot of Alan Rickman's performance, and even a lot of the way it's written in the books, is built off of physical gestures and performance from Snape towards Harry. Like, that is a huge part of what makes their relationship weird and what makes it pay off at the end. And so, I mean, spoilers for Harry Potter. I think we all know how Harry Potter ends, because I think everybody on Earth has either read the books or seen the movies. But Snape has a very long game to play. And Alan Rickman did. I wouldn't want to follow up Alan Rickman no matter who I was. But you've just given an uphill battle to the actor playing Snape. And one thing aside of just Snape and the casting is the costume design. You know, Snape's wearing a zip-up leather jacket in one of the screenshots they posted, which just doesn't feel like it should be anywhere near Harry Potter or Snape. And say one thing about Alan Rickman, dude, he was dressing in all those films.
Oh, absolutely. Completely
He had
fitted.
the coolest button-up turtleneck. Like, oh my gosh, he looks sick in all those movies. And so it's just weird to see anything change from that character, because I think if you look at lists from years ago before the show was cast, you can look at people's character lists and rankings of characters in Harry Potter. Snape is in the top 3 of almost everybody's favorite characters. And so that's just hard to follow up in general.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be probably my favorite character, him or maybe Lupin, or there's a couple other characters. I mean,
Right. He's
they're
the
all
heart
great.
of the story.
But the thing that was said, like when the production started or when this was announced that this was going to happen was that we're doing a TV series because we're going to include all the stuff from the books that didn't make it into the movies. And I mean, people love the movies.
Right.
I think the movies are all pretty good to really good, as far
Yeah.
as blockbuster entertainment goes. But they cut a lot of stuff from the books and they changed a lot of stuff because
Sure.
you're limited by the form, right? You're limited in a movie.
Yeah.
You can't get everything in from a book. You have to change things around. And so that's really the only reason I had any hope for this TV series was because of that statement was, oh, we're going to get to
Right.
see all the little things that didn't make it into the movies. We're going to get to see Ludo Bagman in Goblet of Fire, right? We're going to get to see
Sure.
Hermione's house elf crusade spew. We're going to get to see all that extra little stuff.
Yeah, the little side quests. That'll be fun.
But if we're race swapping one of the main characters just for political, like 2025, 2026 reasons, that doesn't feel genuine to me. That feels very disingenuous. And it just feels like this show is already getting bogged down in the type of shit that the previous movies wouldn't even wouldn't care about at all. And so
Right.
I'm just a little concerned.
Yeah, it's just a weird choice and just makes politics come into Harry Potter, whether you like it or not. And this should not be the place for politics at all. Or mirroring, like, these characters, I think a lot of people have poured hope into them over the years, and Harry Potter has a very inclusive fan base, as it should. That's one thing that I think we both love about Harry Potter is that just anyone can see themselves in Harry. It's not because of the color of his skin. It's not because of the color of his hair. It's because Harry Potter resembles all of us having a dream that we're something greater. It's not just for orphans. It's not just for people that are wizards because there's no wizards, right? It's a very inclusive story regardless because it just has so many characters that we can love and a universe that we can pour our hearts into. And we deserve to experience that in full and not be thinking about politics or not be thinking about it mirroring the real world.
I
Be an
think
escape.
the last thing I want to say about this is I just think that this gets people talking about the show for all the wrong reasons. And it's going to get a lot of
Yeah.
people who have a lot of really bad opinions on things all whipped up into a frenzy and give people a really easy reason to hate this show before it even comes out. I think,
Right.
are both still very open-minded. We're going to watch this show. I mean, we're going to
yeah.
watch it. It's probably going to do pretty well for us, I think, generally speaking. I mean, if you adapt this book faithfully, we're probably going to have at least generally positive feelings toward this show.
Right.
But I don't. What else did you think about the trailer here, Dante? What else stood out to you?
No, just so the shocking thing to me was that they didn't have it's like it's trying to lean into that it's Harry Potter, but so much to Harry Potter is Harry Potter as we know it. I'm surprised they didn't use the original theme, like Hedwig's theme. I'm surprised that they didn't title drop and it went do, 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 do. I was waiting for that to happen with the title drop. And Hans Zimmer's doing the music for the show. He's the composer. I didn't know that till
I didn't
yesterday.
know that either. You just scooped me on that.
Really, really excited for that, right? Love Hans Zimmer, but how the hell do you not use that in the trailer? Like, you just should. It's just part of the character at this point. And Hans Zimmer is one of the greatest composers of our time. I don't know if he's up to the challenge to make something more iconic than Hedwig.
How could you? It's like trying to redo the
Right,
Star Wars
like,
theme or the Jaws theme. I mean,
just,
John Williams
you just
is
don't.
iconic.
Yeah.
I think the show is going to have to really walk a fine line of what do we keep and what do we change or what do we add. I mean, they use the same font, I think, for the title, right? The same exact Harry Potter font
Because
that
that's
we've
the
had
Harry
from the
Potter
movie.
font. Yeah.
Exactly. And I also saw that there's that shot of Harry wearing his Quidditch robes that looks like almost the exact same costume that Daniel Radcliffe wore in the movies. Maybe changed just ever so slightly, but obviously meant to evoke the same thing. So yeah, it's just going to be really weird to see what they keep and what they don't keep and how they.
Well, I'm curious with the sets too, because even like Privet Drive, Harry's childhood home looks really similar. And, it's in the books, it's only described as he lives under the staircase, right? But the home looks really similar. A lot of Hogwarts looks really similar. What sets are they keeping? What visual language, costumes, like you said, are they keeping? Just a weird sense of what do you change and what do you not? And again, the original movies represented the core scenes of the book very well. And so every scene, like the train scene that they show at the end of Ron meeting Harry for the first time, that's going to be compared against the train scene of Rupert Grint meeting Daniel Radcliffe.
Of
so
course.
it's just hard because you'll be compared in every aspect. Even if you're expanding on them, there's not a whole lot of content, especially in the first two books, Cody, because they're only 300 pages that are missing. in the first 2 movies. They'll have the hardest time in the first 2 seasons because those first 2 movies get everything from the book. There's nothing extra that needs to be shown really
Well,
from
there's a few
1 and
chapters
2.
I think that get
Yeah,
left out here and
show us
there.
Peeves.
Yeah,
You know
Peeves
what?
is you're right.
Even
Like
show
the headless
have a whole
hunts,
episode
right?
dedicated to
Nick's death day
Sure,
party, that sort of like just little like side chapters that don't really affect the main
sure.
plot. You'll get to do
Pad
all
out the
that kind of stuff.
runtime, but I still think that those are gonna be the 2 hardest to adapt because those will be the 2 that were best covered by the films. Whereas once you get into, like, Order of Phoenix, Goblet of Fire might have a Sphinx in the maze, right? Like,
Yes,
all this
well they
different stuff
better.
from the books. You know, yeah, if they're saying they're gonna do it, might have more Victor Krum. You know, like, I'm in on that stuff. I'm actually almost more excited for those later seasons because that's when I'll feel like more things are, let's say, missing from the movies, that I can delve more into, maybe get more into the prophecy and the Order of Phoenix. Like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm there for that. More into Snape and Harry's little sessions and Half-Blood Prince, you know? So I'm cool with it expanding on the story or not expanding on, but grabbing from the source material more, but, just gonna be hard for the first 2 seasons to do that.
So I wanted how many episodes is this season going to be? And is it going to be the same length? Because that feels really weird to me. Like as
Yeah.
the seasons go along, I'm looking up right now, but let's
I don't
see.
know. While you look that up, I'll tell you, like, one thing I've always respected about HBO is that they let showrunners do whatever the hell they want. So I would hope, like, if it only needs to be 5 or 6 episodes this first season, just do it that way. If it needs to be 10 episodes in a later season, just do it that way. And I think HBO has their head screwed on right that they'll let them do it. Also, we're talking about at least it'll probably be a 7 to 10-year project, at least.
Well, that's
Um,
also the other thing that came out was
so how
the
long is HBO gonna be? Yeah,
one of the head of I think the head executive at HBO said that they're not going to put out a season a year. What the hell are we
right.
doing? What kind of country
Yeah,
do we live in where you can't put out a season of TV a year now? I mean, it's
yeah, it's
absolutely ridiculous.
still too hard to do. But also, with all the mergers going on, is HBO still gonna be a thing in the next 7 to 10 years? That's part of
Exactly.
it too, is you're making a long commitment, my friend.
And that's also what I wanted to touch on with this is it is such a miracle that the first movie series survived to the end.
Right,
You had
right,
multiple actors die and be replaced. Only like one really main character in Dumbledore, which is lucky just in that regard. But
right.
there are a million
And
things
again,
that
we're
can go
not
wrong.
wishing any of this, but
Of
it's
course
just
not.
so hard to make a movie franchise that there's no movie franchises that is 8 movies like that. I mean, Mission Impossible is probably one of the closer ones, but that's been spread out across 30 years.
I mean,
There's not
there are a million things that can go
It's an
wrong
exception.
with a series like this where you need continuity. You need to have all the same
Right.
actors playing these characters for the next decade. And kids grow up, kids change, maybe they lose interest. Maybe these kids don't want to be in this show 5 years from now, right? Maybe
Right.
their parents pull them out of it there's like a multitude of things that can happen. And I
Yep.
just will be really, really shocked if we get to a decade from now, we get Deathly Hallows, or whatever season 7 of this show, Deathly Hallows, and nothing has changed. I mean, all the same kids
Right.
are still playing their adult selves, and Dumbledore actor has survived again. I mean, John Lithgow, we love John Lithgow. We hope nothing
Oh
happens
my
to him,
gosh, yeah. Right.
but you just never know. And that's kind of what I want to stress about that.
Well,
It's just going to be
MCU
tough.
is gonna be based around Kang in this phase,
Exactly. And
and
things
then the
change so
John
quickly.
and it's just, MCU had a solid 11-year run or so from '08 to 19, but that had its bumps in the roadmap and didn't have everything go perfectly, and yeah, again, like, Harry Potter is so, a miracle that it happened that way.
Mhm.
It's magic,
Okay.
and the thing Oh, go
So
ahead.
I have here, the first season is going to be 8 episodes. Source or Philosopher's Stone is going to be 8
Okay.
episodes. It's not confirmed whether or not,
They don't have a roadmap.
they don't
Yeah.
know but I cannot
Yeah.
imagine you get to Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, which are
You
like
can't do it in 8.
800-page books.
Right.
You're gonna have to stretch these episodes, these seasons out. And that's really something that I feel like all these streamers have been allergic to is doing long seasons of prestige TV. They want to keep it all in 8
Right.
episodes. That doesn't make any
Yeah, 8's
sense.
their favorite
So
number to do right now.
I really can't say a lot of the stuff I've been hearing from Warner Brothers gives me a lot of hope that they're gonna shepherd this
Right.
properly. Um, but we're
Well,
just
they've
gonna have to
went
wait and
back
see.
on a lot of things they've said, like the seasons every year type
Mhm,
thing already. And
mhm.
so I think it's funny when they're like, "Oh my gosh, we have child actors." I'm like, "Go watch Sorcerer's Stone, and those are child actors playing Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Of
Those are
course.
not like we have real 11-year-olds this time." And it's like they look like
The
11-year-olds in
ages
that
were almost the
film.
same. I
And like
mean, as you get into because they couldn't do a movie a year, they
the later
skipped a
ones, yeah.
year or two. They got a little bit older, but I think in Deathly Hallows they're like 19 or 20 playing 17. Like it's in Deathly
Oh,
Hallows Part
really?
2. I mean, it's really close. Like it's not that
Okay.
far off. So I think the same thing's probably going to happen here. I just hope these kids honestly can survive this because our
Right.
big three from the previous films, they came out really well. Like all things considered, Radcliffe still
Right.
doing really cool,
Right.
interesting stuff. Rupert Grint does TV, I think, little things here and there. It doesn't really seem like he wants to like have a big career in acting at
Right.
this point. Emma Watson, obviously, massive star, super famous. They all came out on the other side pretty well intact. I just hope that these
Right.
kids are being taken care of.
That's rarer and rarer these days. Yeah. When you look at who's the kid that played Anakin Skywalker,
Yeah,
just
Jake
ruined his
Lloyd.
life. You know, that poor kid. And just
I know.
yeah, and so it's nothing again that we're wishing, but when you have to analyze a show that's gonna go on this long and has child actors and has all these elements to it, it's something that you can't help but question or be, a little bit nervous of. I
Yeah.
mean, and again, I hate to go back to it because the last couple seasons tear me apart, but like, dude, Game of Thrones just derailed at the end. And they went from like the showrunners got their Star Wars deal and they started making it 6 episodes in the last couple seasons. Like, you're supposed to wrap up, you know, 7 seasons of 10-episode TV in 6 episodes. And so it's just, what if a showrunner loses a flame? What if
Right.
Mark Mylod doesn't want to direct anymore? Who's a great director. He's gonna be directing some of the episodes, I guess.
That's
Like they have
exciting.
talented people on board. But in 4 or 5 years, what if Mark Mylod just wants to make movies? Or what if he wants to be an author? Like
Right.
there's so many creative people behind this. Hans is he gonna want to do, 10 years of scores for a Harry Potter show? I don't know. And so it's just the variables in it are just insane. And yeah, it would be a miracle if they could pull it off twice.
All right, Dante, I want to talk about the insane release slate we have for this upcoming December. This ties into
Yeah.
the Harry Potter series. December 2026, we have Dune Part 3. We have Avengers Doomsday. We have the previously mentioned Harry Potter Season 1, The Philosopher's Stone. We also have Robert Eggers' werewolf film, which, from what I've heard, is going to
Nice.
be insane, bloody, violent, like really fucked up. I mean, we love to hear that from Robert Eggers.
Yep.
That's one of our guys. And we also have Greta Gerwig's Narnia, which we really have not heard anything about yet at this point. But what are you? How excited are you for December this year?
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. It's already it feels weird to because it was a big summer movie season this past year. It feels weird to know that everything's like seems to be stacked up at the end of the year this year. But yeah, like which of these, if they all came out at the same date, same time, like 7 p.m., which of these gets the first watch for you?
It's still gonna be Dune.
Holy smokes.
It's still gotta
Yeah.
be Dune.
Yeah.
But people are gonna be
But that's
eating.
just it's crazy.
There's
Yeah.
something for everybody. I mean, it's cool that you have the Narnia movie and the Harry Potter series coming out in the same month because I think there's a lot of crossover there. I think there are a
Like
lot of
two
people that are
relics of a
really big
similar time.
fans of both of those. Yeah, I mean, really interesting stuff
People who hate nerds are gonna be so mad.
for
We got
real.
the MCU Dune Part 3, Robert Eggers for film nerds. We got Greta Gerwig's Narnia. It's just repeating it. And you sent it to me yesterday. And December's going to be stacked. And we've known this for a bit. But when you see it all lined up or on the same Instagram graphic or whatever, it's insane. Like you sent me the graphic yesterday and I had to pause and just look at it like, what do we do, man? How am I going to be able to comprehend all this coming out in a couple of weeks? And it's not even it's all within like the last couple of weeks of December. It's not even
Mhm.
like a full month. It's really in like 2 to 3 weeks is all this coming out.
Gonna be a
It's even
very
crazier.
very busy time for the Cinema Club podcast this December.
Yes.
Gonna have a
Oh my
lot to work
goodness.
on.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to talk about the Oscars?
Yeah. Let's
Let's
dive
do
in.
it. So we had previously mentioned last episode, we did not get to cover the Oscars on time. We were both traveling. We did get to watch the show in pieces. I watched about the first hour. Dante, you watched about the last 2 hours, I guess, right?
Yep. Yep.
Just overall thoughts, general thoughts on the show. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was a good show. It was a bit longer this year. I think it dragged on a bit more, which is again like these are things people usually complain about, but for me, it's like, it's the Oscars. I'm gonna watch the awards anyway. It's like
Yeah.
I don't care if it goes on all that long. I think Conan did a good job hosting it again. As soon as you saw Jimmy Kimmel go up on stage and present an award, you realized how good Conan was again and how much I want him back for a third straight year. And like, I don't dislike Jimmy Kimmel all too much. I know some people he's just really not their cup of tea, but seeing him compared to Conan, it's night and day difference. Conan was again so happy to talk about these films and felt like he watched all of them, which was nice again for the second straight year. And I wish they let presenters talk on a little longer. They still, it's the biggest moment of these people's lives. Do not play them off with music, ever. Do not have a Mean Girls or not Mean Girls, a bridesmaids reunion that goes on 5 to 10 minutes in the middle of the show, but you won't let somebody who just won an award
Could not
give their
agree
full
more.
speech.
Could
That's
not agree more
ridiculous.
with that. That is so silly. Playing
Let
people
them
off.
thank their people, all that.
I hate seeing that. I hate seeing people get played off. And exactly like what you said. We like waste all this time on like this like bullshit reunion stuff. Like we have like it's the 14th year anniversary of the Avengers movie, so we get Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans to come do a weird little 2 minutes on like their gifts. It's just some bullshit. But yeah, then we're playing off this person who is probably never going to be someone who might never be in this position ever again. It's like just trying to thank everyone that helped them get there, and then we play them off. It's bullshit. I also agree that I don't really care how long the show is personally. I'm going to watch it every year.
No.
It's like a niche thing. I mean, some people might tune in for a little bit, watch some, and switch off. But if you're really into this stuff like we are, you're going to watch it no matter how long it is. And I don't really think it makes sense to try to like slim it down, especially when their attempts to slim it down are, like we said, at the expense of the people who really should be given their time. Yeah, overall, I like Conan. I think Conan's probably my favorite Oscars host in a while. I'd like to see him come back year after year, kind of like do a Billy Crystal sort of thing where it's kind of just tradition for him to host the show.
Yeah.
I also really like John Mulaney when he did it a few years ago. I'm a really big fan of John Mulaney's comedy. So did he do the Oscars? Maybe it was a different award show that he did. I'm trying to remember now. If he hasn't done it, he should do it. I thought he did do it. I can't remember, but that's probably who else I would like to see take it over from Conan if Conan doesn't want to do it anymore, would be John Mulaney.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other like general thoughts here before we just go right into the awards?
No, just all in all, still proves why it has the best taste, I think, out of any of the award shows. Still proves why it's the most relevant out of any award shows. You know, there's always something we wish we could change, but we're not on the Academy. I love that there's, I think it was 24, 25 awards, as opposed to 90 something with the Grammys, which is just absurd. I love that every award is presented during the show in the Oscars too. There's no winner 3 hours before the show or at a commercial break. So I appreciate that it still feels like, the most prestigious night in Hollywood as it should.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I really can't stand the Grammys. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. Like, I can't do it. This is really the only award show that I like watch front to back every year. I might check in on a Golden Globe every now and then or the SAG Awards, but I'm not sitting down to watch that kind of thing, like making a night out of it. Like the Oscars, they still hold at least some
prestige see the memes
and relevance in my heart and my mind. So that I still give them that kind of respect. Speaking, Dante, of decisions that we don't agree with, I think let's just start off right at the top. We're just going to go down the Oscars.org list here of winners. So we're going to start off with actor in a leading role. Michael B. Jordan won for Sinners. I want to start off by saying I really enjoyed Sinners. We've talked about this on the pod many times. I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
We both really enjoyed Michael B. Jordan's performance in that movie. I thought he was running in a cool third place, maybe behind Leo, even though Leo wasn't going to win because he didn't really campaign at all. It didn't really seem like he was interested at all in winning this award. Hasn't really seemed interested in winning for a while, which he doesn't give a shit, and that's maybe even cooler. But
good for him.
Chalamet was robbed. Timothy Chalamet deserved to win this Oscar, like flat out. He put everything into this movie. He marketed the fuck out of this. He really like put that movie on his back too, in a way that Sinners is an ensemble piece. Michael's obviously playing two separate characters. He does the twin thing very well. And if you watch the behind the scenes of Sinners, it's really hard to do that. I mean, you saw that too. It's hard to do, but I just thought Chalamet deserved this flat out, and he didn't get it.
Yeah, I think we both agreed going in, like, that was one of the most obvious choices of the night. Like, it's just his moment. Chalamet makes too much sense. And, I don't know, I didn't look into, like, when the ballots closed or whatever. I don't know if anything had to do with
I don't
the
think so.
ballet
I
and
think the voting
opera
had already
comments and all that
the
stuff,
voting had already been
but
finished before that.
okay. But I can't say enough how happy I am for Michael B. Jordan because he's one of my
Yeah,
favorite actors
definitely.
working. Like, I'm as much as I maybe don't agree with the decision, I'm not chanting highway robbery from the ether or from wherever because to me, Michael B. Jordan is just so sick and it's so cool that he's got an Oscar. And I think it's a good enough performance that's like, sure, he could be the best actor in a leading role to me. It's just that I did think Timothy's and Leo's were at a different level,
Mhm.
Timothy's especially. And I think it just felt like, the Marty Supreme moment. If this was closer to the release of Marty Supreme, the show, I would have been maybe a little bit more mad because I think coming off of that high of what the movie was, it was a no doubter to me. And
Well,
you kind of
Sinners was
got the
released almost a year
yeah,
before, so it's crazy that
right.
it carried all this momentum this far.
Yeah, and really, really commendable by Sinners. And we'll talk a lot more about Sinners the rest of this
Yeah.
Oscar reaction. But yeah, just too bad, so sad. He'll reset with the Dune trailer, which he won't win an Oscar for Dune Part 3. Or maybe we'll clip myself
Probably
saying
not.
that when he wins one this time next year.
I
But
hope he does.
in in general, I think like there's funny things. Does Timothy go dark now, and does he like ignore the Oscars for years and like campaign against it and do like
Mm,
what Drake ended up doing with the Grammys? Was like these things don't matter anyways when he won one,
mhm.
or does it become like he does the full on Leo arc where he's chasing it for a long time and finally gets it for like his seventh best role?
But that's what it
But
feels like. It feels like they're
yeah,
doing the Leo to him, where they're like, "We know you're really good, but you're just too
not yet.
young still, and not yet, not yet." And they did the
We're
not yet.
good here.
Timothy Chalamet, we're all good. We have
we
Michael B.
got
Jordan.
we got Michael
Michael
B.
B.
Jordan.
Jordan is here, but it does feel like they're doing the Leo thing to him. And Chalamet, I think, is like the second coming of Leo anyway. So this feels very like on
Fitting.
brand.
Yeah.
This feels very fitting. I just wonder what he's actually going to win it for because he's been nominated for Call Me by Your Name. He was nominated for Marty Supreme
Right.
and nominated for A Complete Unknown last year, which I thought he actually should have been nominated for Dune Part 2 instead, but
Sure.
over A Complete Unknown. But anyways, three-time nominee, has not won. Deserved. I think he probably also could have gotten it for Call Me by Your Name. I mean, that's an incredible performance that
Sure.
he really didn't get enough credit for.
Could have gotten one for Little Women even.
Little Women, sure. I don't think
As
he
supporter.
was
Yeah,
was he
supporting.
nominated for Little Women?
I
To
thought
look,
so,
we'd have to look that up. He very well could have been.
but for
I think you might
supporting,
be
yeah.
right. Yeah, for supporting. Um, but anyways, he's gonna do the Leo thing where they're gonna give it to him eventually. I mean, is he gonna have to eat like raw bison liver like Leo did? Like, what is Chalamet gonna have to do to win an Oscar?
Yeah, he did not get nominated for Little Women either. That's insane.
Should have.
But just a snub of all snubs in many senses and seems like many years now. Yeah, what is he gonna have to do? He's gonna have to eat bison liver or something,
That's what I
or
know, right?
get mauled by a bear.
Gotta do something really crazy.
He's gonna have to actually die on screen. Like
Jesus.
literally method act to the point where it'll be a posthumous award because he went that hard. Like
Hmm.
I don't know what he has to do. I agree with you. It's pretty ridiculous.
Moving on, let's go to actor and supporting role. We called this one. I had this one called for a long time. Sean Penn
Yeah.
joining a rare class of actor to win 3 Academy Awards, beating out Benicio del Toro from One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi, Delroy Lindo, Stellan Skarsgård. Really good slate of nominees. Sean Penn to me was the clear winner here, and I thought that ever since
Yeah.
when I went to see One Battle After Another when it came out. I thought Sean Penn had this award locked down. And it's just I was happy to see him win this because I thought he was more than deserving.
It was part of my prediction was that he'd get up there and say some wild shit on the mic, just some unhinged stuff.
But he
And
wasn't
then
even there.
people saw he wasn't even there. And I'm like, that's almost better. And that fits almost to me, like fits in line with my prediction that he just doesn't care at all. But joining, yeah, a rare class of actors, 3 Academy Awards, 6 nominations. As well for Sean Penn, putting together just an insane career. And I think he's a little less seen or less in the public eye these days, or when he is, it's maybe not for films as much, but he's an incredible actor, has an insane catalog behind him, and just well deserved. I feel bad for all these other supporting actors because they did amazing. I understand like Jacob Elordi won quite a bunch of awards this season. Stellan Skarsgård really deserved all the recognition he got this year for sentimental value. I know it's a film that has a lot of sentiment to him, being made in Norway. Delroy Lindo, again, just snubbed time after time, it feels like, or not given the credit he deserves time after time, and felt like maybe this would be one he could rally for. Such a cool nomination. Unfortunately, didn't get it. And then Benicio, I had someone in the airport explaining the few small beers scene to another guy sitting across from me in the airport in the Seattle like food court. He was like, and then he says, a few small beers. And they were just laughing at how funny the line was without it even being delivered by Benicio. I was like, oh my God, this is great. It's taken over. So just awesome, 5 awesome performances. And it always sucks especially I think the supporting roles, because you get varying screen times, varying meanings to the film. But Sean Penn, yeah, he brought it this year. I would have loved to see him walk up on stage in character too,
doing the
just something like that.
pigeon walk,
the lockjaw walk,
the lockjaw walk.
But just great performance, totally deserved. Again, Oscars proven why they have pretty good taste, getting right back in our good graces.
Absolutely, good for you, Sean Penn. Now go back to Ukraine or wherever you are. I don't know. Do you think he'll get another one? This has got to be probably his last nomination, right?
Well, I saw a video about the 5 decades of Sean Penn. You just forget, he's been nominated almost in every decade now that he's been acting, like 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. And, I forgot about Milk 2010s and then 2020s now, insane, just run of roles. But it's funny because I know he's popular in late 90s or 2000s, but it hasn't really felt like a run, because it's been so spread out. There's maybe one movie that comes out every 10 years now that has him in it like that. But it's always some sort of good performance that gets up there. I wouldn't put it past him to win another one. I could see him being a cynical old man in a film, in something in 10, 15 years, and just being bound to a wheelchair and winning. Anthony Hopkins won for The Father a couple years back, and he's old, right? And so I could see something like that happening to Sean Penn. And they obviously, despite public opinion, the Oscars seem to really like him.
They love him.
And I love Sean Penn too.
I love him.
Oh, well, yeah, I love him. But great guy.
Wouldn't put it past him to get another one, or at least get another nom.
No.
Okay, actress in a supporting role, Amy Madigan won for Weapons, playing the incredible Aunt Gladys. We called this one too. We had this one pegged all the way. I think this was the clear winner. All the way. I mean, the only one I would have picked over her wasn't even nominated, and would have been Chase Infinity. So,
sure.
Amy Madigan. I mean, I don't know if you can argue Chase Infinity leading, supporting, probably more of a leading actress, honestly.
Right.
But anyways, Amy Madigan winning for supporting actress for Weapons. Really loved this win. We loved this movie. We loved her performance. Just like the clear favorite all the way. Really happy for Amy Madigan too, because she's been around a long time. And it just really felt like it meant a lot to her to win this. So good for her. Loved it.
Yeah. That look that Ed Harris gave her when she won, he's just, hell yeah. He gave her a stamp of approval right
really
there.
Really proud of her.
So good for him. Good for them. This reminds me a lot of the Jamie Lee Curtis win, where it's just I can see why people didn't love this as a win. It's kind of interesting that this was Weapons only nomination. Was the Amy Madigan performance. I would have thought it would sneak in for best score or best original screenplay or something like that. But yeah, I can get behind the win. I don't know if I thought it was the clear number one, but I also predicted this to be the winner leading into this season. So would have been cool with Elle Fanning, would have been cool with Inga Ib's daughter, Lilias. And then Wunmi Mizusaku I thought was a really cool nomination. Wasn't as big on the Tiana Taylor hype train as most.
No, I mean, her performance was fine, but she's barely in that movie, and I don't really, didn't really love I would have liked Chase Infinity in there instead, but anyways, actress in a leading role, Dante, we tried to zag on this one and say that Emma Stone was going to pull a Sean Penn and win her 3rd Oscar. I thought it was a good zag for us, because it could have happened.
I'll stand by it.
I'll still stand by it. But I think in the back of our minds, we both knew that Jessie Buckley already had this wrapped
Right.
up like months ago. So great
Yeah,
win for her.
you texted me the night before. You were like, we put out the Instagram post that Emma Stone was going to win, and you're like, dude, imagine if we called that, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I think we both had the same exact sentiment towards that. And I was able to watch Hamnet before the awards too. I was lucky enough that it was still in theaters when I went to the Philippines. Awesome movie. I really liked it.
Me
I guess
too.
awesome is not the word to describe the movie, but just heartfelt and a really good performance from Jessie Buckley. Just heartbreaking performance.
Heartbreaking.
Much better than her performance in The Bride. But we're not going to.
We'll get to The Bride. We'll get to that in another
and
episode.
She won for Hamnet, baby, as she should have. She gave an amazing performance, and darn near had, I think, everybody tearing up in the theater. Great performance.
Yeah, I was actually in Ireland when Jessie Buckley, Pride of Ireland,
cool,
won this, and there was some people who were pretty happy about that. I was talking to some Irish
Nice.
folks, and
Some
they
buzz.
have a lot of pride for their own in Ireland,
They do.
and they were very happy that they have another Oscar winner to add to the collection of Cillian Murphy. There's got to be other ones in there too, but Cillian winning a couple years ago is like fresh in everyone's mind. So I'm really happy for the Irish.
Colin Farrell was really putting on for her as well, Jessie Buckley, and then I'm forgetting her name. She was in F1. She was love interest in F1, and she was in Banshees of
Carrie
Inisherin.
Condon.
Carrie Condon. He was putting on for her and Carrie Condon like heavy to be Batman villains.
Oh,
after he got the Penguin role. And so I'd love that for Jessie Buckley. Imagine a Jessie Buckley, Harley Quinn. I think we're done with Harley Quinn, but imagine that. She'd be great.
Sure.
But just a great actress with, I think, a really bright future ahead of her. I think this is her first of quite a few Oscars.
I hope so. I hope so.
Right now. Yeah.
Okay, I think we can skip over animated feature. We didn't see a lot of these. K-pop Demon Hunters didn't see it.
Big shocker.
You'll have to watch
Demon
it.
Hunters
Everyone
won.
knew. The only one I saw from these was Zootopia 2. We didn't really make any predictions on there. Zootopia 2 was good. Still haven't seen K-pop Demon Hunters, so I don't really have anything to say about that. Let's go down to casting. The inaugural Oscar for casting went to One Battle After Another. Good win. I thought Marty Supreme kind of had this one instead, but Marty Supreme just didn't have any awards momentum.
No
juice. If it had one casting, maybe Chalamet could have gotten some more momentum into Best Actor, but this went to One Battle After Another. I think it was the first award of the night that it won, I believe.
Yeah.
And that kind of set the table for what we're going to talk about later, which was ultimately the Best Picture win. But thoughts on the casting win?
Yeah, really good group of nominations to kick it off too.
Yes.
Hamnet has the child actors in it that are brilliantly cast. You got One Battle After Another, an ensemble film. Same thing with Sinners. Marty Supreme pulling people off the street from New York Knicks videos to be a side character. And then I didn't see The Secret Agent as much, but anything that casts Wagner Moura should be nominated as well because he's just awesome in everything he's in. So fair enough to me. But yeah, good list of nominations. And I think a good choice. I agree with you about the Marty Supreme one because I just think it got more vague into the casting. But, One Battle After Another also had the sergeant from the interrogating sergeant who was interrogating the kids.
Well, and the discovery of Chase Infinity.
Gem.
I mean, the revelation that is Chase Infinity. That's probably what won the Oscar for Cassandra Kulakundis is the discovery of Chase Infinity, along with obviously
who wasn't nominated, but
but basically I think really helped One Battle After Another win this award. Obviously, when you're working with PTA, he's also a genius caster himself, so that really helps. Not taking anything away from Cassandra, but when you get Sean Penn, DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, I mean, that helps. That definitely helps. But shout out Chase Infinity. I think this award is very much for her, more as much as anyone else.
Yeah, cool to see in our books. I mean, we'll monitor this award for years to come, but cool to see the first one because this sets the tone for all the rest of them.
Okay, cinematography. Sinners got its first win, I believe, or I don't remember exactly what order these awards all were in because I didn't watch the whole show. But cinematography, it's the first one we're going to talk about for Sinners here. Autumn Gerald Arkapaw, great. Was great. I listened to her interview on The Big Picture a couple weeks ago. Great to listen to. I mean, she's really smart. You can really tell that she has been thinking about cinematography for a very long time. She's very experienced in the business, has worked a lot with Ryan Coogler, also shot the Loki series for Disney Plus a while ago.
Which is probably the best looking thing on Disney Plus.
Absolutely. Also worked, I believe, on both Black Panther films as the DP. So she's had a long career at this point. The first woman to win this award, I believe. Was it
Yes.
the first woman, just flat
Yeah.
out first woman to win this award? So that made some history
Yep.
right there. She's very, very deserving. I
Yep.
just really, really like this win for her.
Yeah, really cool, really fun to make history. I like that Conan pointed that out after she won the award too. Like, guys, that was the first woman to win, best cinematography. And so they gave another round of applause in the audience, which was really cool. Glad that he recognized that moment too. She's of Filipino descent as well. So when I
Yes.
was in the Philippines, all over the news, they were ecstatic about
Mhm.
claiming her as one of theirs and just celebrating. It was on every news channel, on ads, on places that you went, congratulating her. So really cool to see. And yeah, gave a really strong, powerful speech. And like you said, just somebody that's worth digging into and has given a lot to the film community in the last couple of years, and well-deserved award on the different formats.
Especially.
Making the most of one set in the center of the film, makes so
Mhm.
much of that set, which seemed like a pretty small set. So really cool work by her with the cinematography in a movie that still looks gorgeous. I rewatched it recently.
Looks
Yeah,
awesome.
still holds up,
Yeah, I did.
obviously.
I rewatched it a couple times recently, leading up to the show. My roommate the other night threw it on. We watched about the
Yeah,
last hour and a half of it. Loved it.
so great.
Looks awesome, and I like what you said too. You have to bring up the two formats, the Ultra Panavision and the 70 millimeter IMAX. I mean, that stuff's really hard to work with, and it looks
Right.
incredible, and it really adds a lot to the movie too. So I think this was a really, really good choice for best cinematography. One battle
Yep.
right there with it. Really liked all the nominees here. Frankenstein maybe the outlier, but I really would have been okay with anyone winning this. But was really happy to
Train Dreams.
see Sinners take it.
Yeah.
Train Dreams, the nomination was the win for Train Dreams.
Our poor guys. Yeah.
Okay, let's go to costume design. We had Frankenstein pegged for all of these for costume, makeup, and hairstyling, and it won all of them. So
Yeah.
no surprise here. Thoughts on
Yeah.
Frankenstein getting costume design?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah,
That's my
yeah,
thought. Like,
yeah.
it's Hamnet, Marty Supreme, Sinners, probably would have liked to see them get a win. I think Hamnet wasn't really awarded at all this night, so it would have been nice to
No.
have Hamnet get another win there. But Avatar: Fire and Ash kind of shut out as well,
Yeah,
besides the visual effects. And so, kind of surprising. Just some of, I guess Frankenstein's not a zag, and Guillermo del Toro's not a zag at all. But just still a little bit unexpected with some of the very strong contenders that went up against. So
mhm.
sure.
Sure, yeah, I don't really have much to say about it. It's like the most showy of all the nominees, and so I think
Yeah.
that's usually what they just go with. I think they really just wanted to give Frankenstein some wins here. So sure, like
Yep.
why not? Um, let's go down to directing. PTA winning for best
Yeah.
director. Finally. I mean, he's been a long time coming. PTA. I think he's really just starting to finally get his mainstream recognition. Like
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of red carpet interviews recently, and and actors and people in the industry get asked who they really want to work with or who they really admire. A lot of people have
Right.
been answering PTA, and you really did not hear that like even 3-4 years ago. Like when Licorice Pizza
Yeah.
was rolling out, nobody was really talking about PTA like
Yeah.
he's one of
Really
the
quiet
greats,
rollout. Yeah.
other than like people in the know, like people like us, people who really have known him for a while. Obviously, he's been known in cinephile circles as one of the greatest, as one of the
He's the
current living
default
masters.
answer for film students' favorite
Yeah.
director.
But it really feels like he's really starting to get his recognition now, and I love it. I love to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. It feels the same as like Sean Baker this last year. Just like got his recognition, won the night. And it felt like PTA's night where he was just, it was cool how the awards were divvied up. And I think a well deserved directing win here. It felt like Sinners got to win the night. And it also felt like One Battle After Another got to win the night, which was proper. Felt right. So good for PTA.
Yeah. I mean, all the nominees here, great, but I think PTA was the clear cut winner. Ryan Coogler was probably running a very close second, but
Yeah.
PTA definitely had him beat. Okay, let's go down now to editing. Another win for One Battle After
All right.
Another. I thought this was also a very fair win.
Yeah.
It was really, again, most of these awards were between One Battle After Another or Sinners. And if One Battle
Yep.
wasn't taking this, Sinners was going to take it. I was talking about this with my roommate the other day, and he said that he thought it made a bit more sense for One Battle because it was doing a lot of intercutting during like some of these really tense scenes.
Sure.
At Sinners maybe just wasn't doing as much. So that's maybe why it won.
Yeah, how it's able to balance out tones through its editing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I,
There's a
I
Mo
really
Bamba placement in the background that was edited
sure.
pretty well. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we confuse best editing with the most editing, and I think sometimes
Right.
that gets a bit skewed. That didn't really happen here. I liked all the
F1.
nominees. I think F1, I thought F1 maybe had a chance at this
It's a
just
good nominee.
because it had like really high octane action sequences edited very well together. And
Yes.
F1 just also kind of felt like a movie that could sneak in there and get an editing win. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, one battle after another. Yeah, great piece of editing from Andy Jurgensen. This is one of the best movies of the year. Editing is absolutely one of its strong points. So a very fair win.
Yeah. Help to make Hills scary as shit.
Yes.
Help make Hills scary as hell.
Absolutely. I think probably just for that sequence alone is probably what won it the Oscar. That's
what
Hills
if they had to submit one clip from the film, that's your submission.
Yeah. Okay, international feature film. Norway won for sentimental value. That was its only win of the night. I think we also had this pegged. We felt pretty strongly that sentimental value was going to run away with this award, and it did, and rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you really like Sirat. I haven't been able to see it quite yet.
Gotta see it.
But yeah, I think there were a couple of good nominees in international feature, a couple of great snubs in international feature film, but good win for sentimental value, and cool to see Joachim Trier up there on stage. You could tell he was excited as hell. Like he was looking around the room like, I'm with a bunch of legends right now. And so, and he should be one of them in the next couple of years. He is a great director.
Yeah, this was a really strong category. The only one we didn't see out of this was the voice of Hind Rajab from Tunisia. We didn't get to that one in time. But the other four very, very strong nominees. So anyone could have taken it. Sentimental value, I think the deserved winner here.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Frankenstein again real quick. It won makeup and hairstyling. I think we all saw this coming. Dante, anything else we should say about this really?
I like this one a little bit better than the costume design win because I think it goes more into Frankenstein himself with the makeup and hairstyling. So pretty fair to me here.
The Smashing Machine.
The Smashing Machine didn't get it. Yeah.
I don't think it really had any chance. It didn't really have any awards momentum throughout the entire season. But I almost kind of forgot it was nominated till I just saw this.
When you saw the first screenshots of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you're like, oh, that's going to win makeup and hairstyling or best costume design or whatever. And just didn't, have any steam at all.
I mean, Elordi was very creepy and off-putting and weird in that Frankenstein makeup, all done practically. Yeah. So I think that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here for this win. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. I have no gripe with it.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to original score, the category that the Academy seems to fuck up every single year. Marty Supreme not nominated, so this doesn't even fucking mean anything. Sinners wins though, which is absolutely deserved. Sinners
which should be the winner.
Sinners probably was going to win even if Marty Supreme was nominated, and rightfully so. I mean, Ludwig Göransson has absolutely been kicking ass the past 6, 7, 8 years or whatever, how long of a run he's been on at this point. College roommates with Ryan Coogler. This is a long time coming. Cool. So cool to see. Also was my personal favorite score of the year. I think the score was one of the, if not the strongest element of Sinners, and rightfully so, awarded with the Golden Statue on Oscar night.
Cool speech about him and Ryan Coogler too, and just proves like, don't network up and find somebody up, grow together.
Yeah.
These are two guys that have grown together, made films together. Just cool to hear that relationship come out. He's won for Black Panther. He's won for Oppenheimer. He's won for Sinners now. How many more do you think he can win?
A lot. I don't think he has a ceiling. I think he can keep going.
I think, do you think he doubles this? Do you think he gets past 6?
Yes.
I'd bet on it right now.
Yes.
That he gets 6 or more.
I would say he gets past it. He's going to win probably another one next year with the Odyssey.
You could give me the worst odds ever, and I would, he gets past 6. I'd put money down on it right now. He is just on a tear.
Yeah, Ludwig, man, you're absolutely killing it. Like, please don't stop. And I don't think he will, because the great thing about him is he works with all these incredible filmmakers. So they put him in a great position to succeed. It's hard not to, I mean, when you're working with a guy like Christopher Nolan, you're going to be on the absolute top of your game because you know that Nolan expects the best. And same thing with Ryan Coogler.
Right.
Coogler, a protege of Nolan, coming from the same school of filmmaking, kind of. And so that I love to see Ludwig working with these kinds of filmmakers because he's on a fucking heater, man. And no one's going to stop him.
Well, the visuals are going to enhance your score. You're going to have moments where your score rips up or revs up and the aspect ratio expands in the film. Like just the simple driving scene in Sinners where they're driving out to the juke joint and it's just, and his score is ripping. Like I turned to you in the theater. I was like, oh my God, like Ludwig's going crazy. And so you'll get moments like that just separate you from the rest of the pack. And with his scores continuing to push the boundaries, definitely going to get multiple more.
Keeping with the music theme, we're just going to talk quickly about original song. We did not see K-pop Demon Hunters, so I have no opinion on Golden winning. I will say though that I Lied to You is a better song than that, and I already know that for a fact, and I have not heard it. So
because I've listened to the music. Yeah,
exactly. Like I Lied to You was a great song. I also would have really liked to see Pale Moon, Pale Moon from Sinners also make it in here. I don't know if is that an original song or not. I don't actually know.
Not sure.
If it is, it should have been nominated as well. But I Lied to You
100%.
is the best of all these songs. Should have won. They performed it at the show. Thought the performance looked really cool, and you just should have won. I mean, that's such a transcendental moment in that movie and in film of 2025 or of 2020 of 2025. Man, I mean, I don't know.
I loved seeing Jack O'Connell try to go up on stage. And did you see that? That was great, man. And he had the fangs. He was dressing.
Yeah.
He should have been up for something, man. But him showing up and trying to get on the stage was great. And then no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And also, I've seen Golden win everything this award season and been just bummed out time after time that I Lied to You didn't win. This was the one where they cut off the speech for one of the other songwriters, which is fucked up. That dude probably practiced English for weeks and like had it written out. You could see how nervous he was, and they just played him right off. Horrible. Awful thing to do with the guy. Diane Warren, I think it's her 17th nomination, and hasn't won.
Don't care.
Insane.
Don't care.
Insane. She looked heartbroken. I'm just like, damn, 17 noms is crazy.
And no
I don't
wins.
care about Diane Warren like winning or not, but 17
that is pretty crazy.
Actually insane that she hasn't won one. That sucks. That's tough.
What are you gonna do
next?
I think they should have let Jack O'Connell perform Rocky Road to Dublin at the show. I know it's not an original song from the movie,
my God.
but I would have just loved to see them do that whole sequence again live
and do it all without the makeup too, and have Michael B. Jordan up there. That would have been great, man. That would have been great.
Okay, we'll save Best Picture to last, so let's roll down here instead to production design. Frankenstein took home all three of the awards we predicted it to. It had this wrapped up, no doubt, even though I don't think it should have.
This is the one I actually care about. This is the one that kind of offends me out of Frankenstein. I get the costume design. I'm actually cool with the best makeup and hairstyling. This is a what the fuck win to me. I get it. Like Guillermo always has good set pieces. This felt like the lowest common denominator Guillermo set pieces. Like Hellboy has better sets than this movie. You know, it genuinely does. And so seeing it against Sinners or One Battle After Another maybe doesn't have as much of a good production design to it. But seeing it against like Sinners and Marty Supreme and Hamnet, the final set that they have there, like those all beat anything that has been done in Frankenstein. So, and then you see all the behind the scenes for like the little clips. They had really cool clips with all the set design. And the one for Hamnet like showed how intricate it was to make those sets. And just a fucking bummer that it didn't just sneak one out tonight or during the night with Hamnet. For production.
This could have been a time to give Hamnet another award, like besides the acting award. This could have been a time to honor the legendary Jack Fisk for Marty Supreme. But instead we give Frankenstein its third award of the night. I think, like you said, probably its least deserving. Not that the set design is bad by any means in that movie. I just would have liked to see something a bit more interesting happen with this award.
Yeah. Just felt way too predictable.
Speaking of predictable, F1 won for Best Sound, which I think, knew from the jump. As soon as it got nominated, I think we all understood that it was going to win this award, and rightfully so.
Yeah, I was cool with this. One Battle, Sinners. I heard Surratt, like you said, Surratt has some crazy sound design.
Yes.
Missing a Warfare nomination in place of Frankenstein, but F1 really well deserving. Can't argue with it whatsoever.
No. Can't argue with it. I mean, really loud, fast, furious kind of movie. The really wish we could have seen that one in the theater because I think we could have appreciated the sound a lot better.
Yeah.
Let's move on to visual effects. Avatar: Fire and
Pretty
Ash.
predictable.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
predictable. Jurassic World Rebirth. Fuck you. Get this out of here. This should not even have been nominated.
The Lost Bus?
The Lost Bus. Whatever, the Lost Movie, because no one's ever fucking heard of that movie before. But yeah, Avatar: Fire and Ash winning here. I think we all kind of saw this coming from a million miles away. Movie looked incredible. The last two Avatar movies are mind-blowingly, like, insane, like, crazy achievements. So it deserved this award.
I'm sure. Do you think it'll go? I think the last two movies won for best visual effects as well. I'd be shocked. I didn't research this going in, but I'd be shocked if they didn't.
I think you're
Do you
right.
think if they make 5 movies like James Cameron is planning, that they go 5 for 5?
They'll all win.
I think so.
It's just like a lock for an Oscar if you can get your name on.
I just feel
effects.
like it's such a default vote for them too for Avatar.
Yeah, it definitely is the default vote, but I think in this case it's also the correct one.
Yes.
Okay, now the Cool Kid Awards. I think the screenplay awards are for the cool kids. Like, this really tells you who the Academy thinks is like the coolest person at the show, coolest filmmaker.
Yeah.
Adapted screenplay, PTA wins for One Battle After Another. And original screenplay, Ryan Coogler wins for Sinners. We had both of these pegged again all the way. These were the two obvious favorites. And two very deserving Oscars. And I'm really happy for both of these guys.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it was cool to see PTA similar to Sean Baker last year, just everything but the editing going to PTA, which editing for One Battle did win. But getting the writing, adapted screenplay, and getting the director win, really cool to see. Really well deserved. I don't think the adapted screenplays are as like, I don't think there's like a 2 here to me or a 1A even. I think it's a very clear One Battle After Another.
Yes.
I think some of the original screenplays, like Martyr Supreme, Sentimental Value, I'd get why they would be like a 2 to somebody. But again, Sinners is a very clear number 1, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to call it. Ryan Coogler is the first Sacramento State wide receiver to be named to the Pro Bowl or win an Oscar. So congrats to him. Good little career at Sacramento State. But yeah, first one for Pro Bowl or an Oscar.
Okay, interesting. So
good win.
Who's the next Sacramento State wide receiver that's going to win an Oscar? We don't know yet.
Yeah, no.
He's out there though.
I'll look up their roster.
He's out there.
Got to be, right?
But yeah, I was really happy to see Coogler win here. His first Oscar, right? Or no, well, he won for. Did he get something for Black Panther? No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No. So his first Oscar, Ryan Coogler's first Oscar. Really cool to win in the original screenplay category too. Like, that's probably the coolest fucking award you could win besides Best Picture. Just awesome to think about Ryan Coogler sitting down to write this 1920s
How do you
gangster
approach it?
vampire movie, and then he fucking wins best screenplay for it. So really happy for him. It's a really awesome script. I mean, we praised the screenplay in our initial review of this movie. I've praised it time and time again. Totally fucking deserve this award. They nailed it on this one. Same thing with adapted screenplay too. Really, really happy for PTA. Like we said, he's finally getting his flowers, Dante. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah. It's one of those, like, it doesn't feel like too little too late because it feels like he's still got so much more left in the tank. While he has many deserving films for these writing awards, for these directing awards, it does kind of feel like it landed on the right one. Because One Battle does feel like it's going to be regarded as his best, or really high up there as his career is all said and done. And it feels like the right movie to make a moment out of, because it feels like all the best of PTA went into this film. And again, like, cool speech to see him up there. I think he said, like, oh yeah, these things are pretty cool, after he like got the second one or whatever. Like, he was kind of like shit talking the audience a little bit in a fun jest way. Like, yeah, I'm used to these things now. So just really cool to see. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking up Sacramento State's roster.
Oh. Who are you predicting?
Ontario Smith Jr. is on their roster.
You heard it, Ontario.
Ajon Bryant is 5'6". He's a wide receiver. He's not going to the league, that's for sure. The other guys I'm seeing are like 6'4", 6'2". So I think Ajon Bryant.
What's Coogler's stats? What's his height and weight?
Let's see.
Ryan Coogler.
Height.
We're losing the plot here very quickly.
He's 5'10". So yeah, I don't think a 5'6" guy is going to go to league. I think he needs another passion. I think Ajon Bryant looks like he could direct a good film. I'm looking at his headshot right now.
Sure.
Yeah, he could direct a movie.
Okay.
Sure.
Maybe he should
So
call up his fellow alumni, Ryan Coogler, see if they can collab.
he went to Modern Day. He's probably a baller. He went to Modern Day, but yeah, I'm gonna call up some alumni. I'll put some futures on him right now.
Sure.
That he'll win an Oscar.
Okay.
Or maybe a Pro Bowl.
Speaking of winning Oscars, we've come to it. Best Picture. One battle after another. Dante, we went back and forth on this I think all award season leading up to this. Was it Sinners? Was it one battle after another? There was a moment there. There were like, for about the 2 months leading up to the show, I was fully convinced one battle was going to win, like had it in the bag. And then as we got like a week out, I thought really maybe Sinners was making a push and Sinners was gonna complete the comeback and win it. But alas, one battle after another has won Best Picture. And I believe that is the right decision.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll stand by it.
Yeah.
We said it the night before. We put out the official Instagram post. I didn't really consult you that much. I just went with the gut and said, hey, it's going to be one battle after another.
Smart choice.
Felt throughout the night like that was going to be the direction after the directing and the screenplay and the editing. Felt like, yeah, it only makes sense to win Best Picture. And it did. Tiana Taylor put PTA in a chokehold going up on stage. This. And then she went and straight up grabbed the Oscar and went, oh my God, and was holding it up. And it was pretty hilarious because Nicole was watching it with me and she's like, that's the actor. I'm like, yeah, they're not usually the one who holds but good for her. She got to touch an Oscar. Probably the
only time,
probably last time, her only
probably.
time. Yeah. So good for her. She lived it up. She had a great time. But yeah, it was cool to see PTA be the second one to touch the Best Picture Oscars that he won for one battle after another, and well-deserved throughout. Was a cool way to cap off the show. Didn't give that big of a speech at the end. Like none of the producers or PTA gave some huge speech or anything. But whatever, they won. Good for them. They do whatever the hell they want. So yeah, well-deserved.
I think this is going to be the signature movie of 2025. This is the movie that people are really going to remember this year by. This or Sinners. There was really like a 1A, 1B situation this year. Either one was very well deserving, but I think one battle just kind of has just maybe a bit more juice or just a bit more like it can play to a larger crowd because I think the vampire horror element might turn some people off in Sinners. Turned us all the way the fuck on, but I think it might turn some people off. One battle, it might go down just a bit easier, just maybe a bit easier to like flip it on for your parents on the couch and don't have to like not halfway through they're gonna be like, what the fuck is vampire bloody mess and going on in this? And it also has DiCaprio, which everybody I think loves him, so it's really easy to sit down and watch that. What do you think this movie's legacy is going to be going forward? Like, how are we going to remember this in 5, 10 years?
What do you think about accessibility? Do you think which scene would freak out more people? Would it be Sean Penn getting a boner at gunpoint?
Okay.
Or would it be the lines in Sinners about eating it like ice cream? You know, and this
good point.
Both and both very mature films, both very timely films. I think One Battle After Another is going to have a little bit of a political legacy to it, whether we like it or not. I think it is going to be maybe the crown jewel in PTA's catalog. It's going to be the most accessible out of the PTA films. But I think it's just going to show like it's going to be up there for Leo. It's going to be up there for actors like Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro. And I think it's going to age well because of Chase Infinity's superstardom that's going to be coming up ahead of it. In general, I think it's just going to stand for the confusing time we're in right now and how that can relate to somebody who, you know, the author who wrote Vineland, the book it's adapted from in the 80s or 90s. It can relate to right now. And it can probably relate to us 5, 10 years, 20 years from now. The ending of the film, we talked about it, it's a little bit like hopeful at the end about her going out with her friends and going to their rally or whatever, and him. It ends on Christmas Day and kind of weird and out of place, but hopeful in a great way. And a reminder that Christmas is for families, not the Christmas adventurers, not the people that are oppressing us, right? And so, hail Saint Nick. But just, I think it's going to have a really good legacy, a legacy that will be a rewatch movie, will be something that is taught in film classes, and will be something that we'll watch for years to come too. It plays so fast. It is not a 2 hour and 40-minute movie. It plays insanely fast. That was something I should have talked about in editing. It is the fastest like 3 hour movie you will ever see.
Sure.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you nailed it. I don't really have much else to say other than that. We love this movie in our initial review. We still love it today. It's a movie I will watch many more times. I have the 4K on the shelf behind me. It looks awesome on 4K on a nice OLED TV. Will look really good at home. Sound really good at home on your nice home theater system. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna rewatch it many times to come. And what's PTA gonna do next? What is PTA gonna do next, Dante? What do you think?
What he's with his Oscar bag? I don't know, because that's
PTA
what
with the blank check. Blank check.
Bong Joon-ho went with a full-on like Mickey 17, which is weird, man.
That wasn't great.
Does PTA just imagine PTA with a blank check? Holy shit. He'll probably want to adapt something. He likes to.
Yeah.
Or do some sort of period piece of some sort. But I'd be interesting, like, does PTA make like a sci-fi flick and just go all the fuck out there?
I don't think so.
But that just seems so outside of what he would do. So I'm sure he'll make whatever he wants to make. And that's what I appreciate about him as a director, is that he will still continue to go his own route no matter what. But I am interested to see him with a blank check, because he will get one, and deservedly so.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor's been giving some quotes about a Pervidia Beverly Hills sequel, and she's trying to convince PTA to do that. I'm going to go on record right now and say that's not going to fucking happen. He's not going to he's not going to do that.
You can have HBO spinoff show.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking at best right there. I don't think we'll ever see any of these characters again, because that's just not the way that Paul Thomas Anderson rolls.
Their story's done.
Exactly. Any final wrap up, Dante? What can we say? But it's been a very long award season. We finally come to the end. How do you feel now that it's finally over?
Yeah, just ready to get into the next year of it. I think we were all kind of like, we all get excited for award season, but this was one of the longest I think they've ever had. Wrap it up, dude. I mean, while we do want to give everybody their speech and their moment, we can do this all in January, February, and make these movies more widely available. Theaters should make an effort. I think more and more people are becoming, making a podcast about films, getting into film school. More people want to be auteurs and directors. Make them more available from the start when they're released. And you will see that people will go to these movies if they're nominated on time for Oscars and the Oscars are coming right up. Instead of having people trying to make that Oscars push from home, buying it for $30 on iTunes, or even some people illegally streaming it because it's not available anywhere, which is a travesty. Just remember, Cody, my favorite quote of the night: these awards are fake unless they go to people that we like, and then they mean everything. So that's always I saw that on Twitter. That is always a great,
so who said
that is always a great reminder. These awards are fake unless they go to people we like, and then they mean everything.